So today's lesson does not involve a new concept. It just is going to put some of the concepts we already know together. So the main thing I want you to be aware when comparing data is that they are often going to require sentence answers, and you must give as much detail as possible. Okay, so I want sentence answers. Okay, you must justify with calculations. Okay, and you must include details. Okay, don't just say, I think this one's better because the mean's bigger. Alright, you need to have a little bit more detail in your answer. If it's a 3-mark answer, I need to see at least 3 details, preferably more. Okay, you need to be very detailed in your answer. Your answers must be justified with calculations. So if we looked at this little example here, so we can see we've got a back-to-back stem and leaf plot. This is not new, we've done back-to-back stem and leaf plots before. And it asks a couple of basic, I know you can't really see it, let me make it bigger. Okay, can we see that now? So we're looking at these details here. The first thing it says is, what is the modal amount spent? So that's not sentence answer, that's really easy. That's the most common score. Now, is there one answer or 2 or 3? How many modes are there and what are they?
46.
46 is a mode. Is there any others?
No.
Sure?
So you don't have to show it working?
No, because we're just reading off a graph, remember?
Ah, I see.
What's the, there is actually another answer.
34.
34, well done, because there's only 2 here, but there's another one over here. So just be careful if it's talking about the whole data, that you actually include both. I think the textbook actually forgot that one.
Scumbag.
So don't trust the textbook, okay? So there's 2 answers. How do you calculate the mean?
Average.
Average, what do you do?
Add more.
Add all of these up and divide by how many there are. Now we're going to cheat and we're going to look at what the sum of them is because I'm being lazy. So if I added all the boys' scores up, the total is 612. And if I added all the girls up, just saving us time by adding them up here, was 327. Okay, so if I'm looking for the mean of the boys, I'm going to take 612 and I'm going to divide by how many boys are there? How many are there?
18.
18 is there? So on my calculator, if I do 612 divided by 18, what do I get? 34? Okay, looking at the girls, I know the total is 327. How many girls were there? 14 girls. So if I do 327 divided by 14, so what are we saying? That 23.3, so we'll just say that's 23.4. Let's go with that. Oh, it says nearest dollar, so it's just 23. Now the whole group, guys, the whole group is the total, so what's that? 939 divided by how many are there altogether? So 14 plus 18 is 32. Shh, boys. Divided by 32.
Not 99.
And we get to the nearest, oops, that's not very helpful. 939 divided by 32. So to the nearest dollar, that's $29. Okay, do the boys or the girls have a greater range? Looking at the data there. The girls had a greater range of 49 to 11 because boys were 46 to 11. So girls had a greater range. So what would I write in a test? Do you think I'd get marks if I just said girls?
No, you have to work them both out.
You'd have to work them out. You must justify, Marcus, you must justify with calculations. You can't just say girls. You must say girls have a greater range of whatever theirs was compared to boys which had a range of. Okay, so it must be a sentence and you must justify with calculations. Does that make sense? I know it's only worth 1 mark, but they need all that information for the mark. All right, you can just write girls, I'm going to give you nothing. All right, then part D says compare the shapes of the 2 data sets, boys and girls. So if I'm going to compare shapes, what sort of words am I looking at for shape? Skewed. Okay, skewed, peaks, anything like that. Okay, what's a very obvious difference between the boys and the girls in shape?
Boys and negative.
Positive and negatively skewed. Which one's which?
Boys negative. Girls positive.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you need to say girls are positively skewed and boys are negatively skewed. So you need to write all that detail in there. You just say which one's which. So you just say that the boys are negatively skewed, whereas the girls are positively
You got it wrong
skewed.
the other way around, we just don't get a mark.
No, you don't get a mark if you get it the wrong way round.
That's why.
Okay. You must get it the right way round.
Why?
Okay, and for part E, okay, part E says on average, do boys or girls spend more? Justify your answer. Okay, how would I justify who spent more? Use the averages that we already calculated. So we already calculated the average of the boys was 34, where the girls was 23. So I could say that on average, the boys spent more because their mean was 34, whereas the girls was 23. So can you see it must be a sentence and you must refer to calculations?